DeepSeek's R1 beats ChatGPT, Gemini, Claude. It's free and it's open source. So it's really time to stop spending $500 a month on databases and get better quality leads for absolutely free. I'm going to show you everything, all three methods that I compiled for you today in this video. Lead generation really doesn't have to be complicated or really expensive at all. You just need to simply use the right strategies and tools. I'm going to show you these three methods here today on how you can find and generate unlimited qualified leads. So using DeepSeek's R1 research model, this isn't just going to be some basic research. This is going to give you actually leads that are qualified and that are decision makers. So don't be stuck in the old way of scraping, like manually scraping websites one-on-one, or just buying expensive lead lists that, first of all, are outdated and everybody is just blasting to, or just being lazy and avoiding all of that together and just going onto Apollo or some other type of database and just inputting a few keywords and just blasting the whole list. Don't be one of those people. AI is completely shifting the game. A lot of people are just utilizing it wrongly. All they do is just put in a prompt and pray for good results, right? But it is going to give you as good results as your prompt is. So the better your prompt, the better the result it is going to give you. I'm going to show you exact prompts that you can plug and play with and the three methods here today. So that's the reason you're getting basic information, is because your prompts are low quality. I'm going to give you the best prompts that we are using personally and the three methods that I'm about to show you here today. So just to sum up, DeepSeek AI has direct access to the internet and can process complex data real time. So the first method I'm about to start off with is probably the easiest. It is very good for local business scraping. This is called the full contact research. So let's get into this. This is the first method that I'm going to show you, which is called full contact research method. It's very simple. This is probably the easiest one. I'm going to show you three in total, like I said. So these are going to be ranking from easy to medium to hard difficulty. And well, the more effort you're going to put into this, the better the results you're going to get. So first of all you need to do is just go into Google, search up anything you like. It doesn't really matter. The main point is you want to click here, tools. You want to click advanced, and it's going to bring you to this advanced search page, which is what we're going to leverage here today. So all you need to do is just these two fields. So you need to fill in all these words. So what you'll be searching for, this is the niche you want to ideally target. So you could do roofing, or you could do solar panel or solar, whatever. Just put solar, very simple, right? And then in the exact word or phrase, you would want to put in at Gmail or at outlook.com / at Yahoo, anything like. Basically, just for the sake of this example, I'm just going to put here at gmail.com, and then once you're done, just click advanced search. And as you can see, it is going to bring a lot of data here. So for the sake of this example, just copy everything you see on this page, or you could even go one step further and use something like Easy Scraper. This is going to be a little bit easier, well, more visually appealing. The point is, doesn't matter, you could do it either way. So you could click here, download as a CSV. You could get the CSV just like this, or you could just Control-Alt-C the whole page just like so. It doesn't really matter because we're going to put it inside a prompt here very shortly. So the prompt we're going to be using is, again, the method 1. So you would want to click and copy here into DeepSeek. You want to change the industry name. So we were looking at solar companies, right? So solar, and again, come back and copy paste everything that you see here at the insert company information here. This is going to be the raw data, so don't worry about it. And all you need to do is just click search, and it's going to do all the work for you. It's going to do the research. It's going to categorize everything. So what it'll do while it's loading, I'll explain quickly. So it's going to give you the organization, their email address, their contact first name, their contact last name, their web domain, their telephone number, and it's going to put it into a easy to read CSV for you. It is going to take a minute or two while it's loading, and in the meanwhile, you can also search for multiple of the same thing. So for example, you could do solar roofing, and if you want to, you could look for at outlook.com / at yahoo.com, right? And also another thing you could do is you can search for specific languages, right? Like you could do Polish, you could do whatever. Just generally, if you're obviously like targeting, you know, US market, just use English. You could do region as well. So you could look for any country that you're targeting, could be US, United States. And you could even go more specific than that. So if you want to go like a specific region, you could also put that in, like for example, like Austin roofing, right? And then you search, and it is going to look for results that are Austin roofing. It's going to give you the email addresses for these 3 emails. And as you can see, like registered companies, as you can see, help fix my roof at Gmail. And once you do, again, just like Control Alt, or you could just come here to Easy Scraper and it's going to give you all the data. And very simply, if you like actually want to get like a ton of leads from this, all you need to do is just like download Easy Scraper, like I said. Once you have that, it's just a very simple Chrome extension. So if you don't already have Easy Scraper, I just recommend you to download it. It's absolutely free. If you have Chrome, if you're using Chrome, which you should be, you can easily download it for free. And again, like once we go back to this example, like sure, we got like 10 results, but that's realistically not enough. So what you want to do is you can click action to load more items, and it's going to be action, click. The action is going to be click to navigate to next page, right? So we need to click and select, and this is going to be our next page prompt, and then it's going to do the start scraping. And once it scrapes the whole page, it is going to find this next button, and it is going to click it, and it is going to load the next page for us very, very nicely. And it's going to scrape everything over again, as you can see, very nicely. I'm going to stop the scraping because you can collect like basically infinite amount of email addresses like this, austin.comcast.net. So you're going to find these emails very nice, like CM Mouse, Argus. So what you need to do is just like click this CSV, and you can also like plug this into DeepSeek as well. Finally, we have gotten the results from our little 1-page search. Obviously, this is not going to be a lot, but if you are doing more, like I showed you, like how you can do like hundreds of pages, we just scraped 2, but the same process is true. So just let it run for a little bit longer. In 20 seconds, we got about like 2 pages. If you let it run for like 10 minutes, you're going to get 100 pages. And you know, that's quite a few contact info. That's like 1,000 right off the bat. You can easily work with that. Once you put it into DeepSeek, you're gonna get the telephone numbers, you're gonna get the web domains, you're gonna get the contact info for the first team and their actual emails as well. So by the time you would actually like do one of these, like manually, you're gonna get dozens, if not hundreds of contact information. So this was realistically the first method. And again, if you need like more specific things that you need to search for, again, just click here, tools, come to advanced search, and just play around with these. You can add any of these words, none of these words. If you want to exclude something, as you can see, there's always an explanation here if you get lost. So basically it's like this, just you can filter with language, region. You can do like updates as well if they updated the website or the page. And you can also do like file format if you're like looking for something specific. But again, we're just looking for email addresses. So in this case, just put this like Outlook, Yahoo, and all of that. And you know, once you have that, just click search and then you'll be good to go. All right, this was a little bit basic. This should still get you some like good qualified contacts. And once you have it, you can just download it as a CSV like we just asked from the prompt. All right, so method 2, it is going to be something that we call directory research. So what that and how it differs is we're going to look at directories, company databases. Like for example, if we're targeting B2B companies, this is another example, we're going to use Clutch. Clutch is an actual gold mine if you're using, well, if you're targeting B2B companies, right? So what you want to do is, for example, we want to target web design companies, right? You would come here and all you would need to do is you could use Easy Scraper for this. Very simple. You can do this, or again, just like Control Alt the whole page just for the sake of demonstration. But if you want to like go through all the pages, just like I've showed you, just basically like click here. It is going to analyze the whole list. You want to click to navigate the next page because I can tell there's a next page button. I need to click this button, and all it's going to do is scrape every single one on the page until it reaches the very last one. And then once it does, it's going to click the next button and it's going to do all over again very nicely until that, like, I think there's like thousands of pages, like 1,600, something like that. Yeah, 1,640 pages. I'm not going to let that run, but again, you get the example. So once you have this data, you can just click download as a CSV, or if you just want to do this page, you can click Control Alt and Control C. That's going to highlight and select everything on the page. What you want to do is you want to get the prompt I am giving you here, and you want to put it into DeepSeek again, and just go back and click copy on what you selected and just paste it right here into the DeepSeek prompt, as you can see, and just click run. Just in a couple of seconds, you are already getting the email addresses from these companies that you're targeting. You're going to get the website URL, you're going to get the physical location, you're going to get the service specialties as well. One thing I use this personally for, as you can see, these email addresses, I'm going to blur out the exact ones, but you can see the info, you can see the contact, you can see the hello, etc, etc. So this was just like a one page that we did. It didn't give you the whole full page, but again, if you want to just give it more data, and it will. But the real gold mine I find is when you are going on Clutch and some of these databases, if we open up Easy Scraper, it is not going to give us the domains. So I can check through every single field. Like it is going to be like Clutch redirect, like Clutch profile, right? And that's not good for us, right? Even if we like come here to Savas Labs, this is just an example company, it is going to give us the web page. But if I just come here onto, you know, Easy Scraper, it is protected. So it is protected against scrapers. But what DeepSeek does, it researches and it gives you the exact URLs, which then you can go to Apollo and just very simply just come to companies and go include a list of companies, and let's just put like the few that we got here, right? Like this one as well. Obviously it's easier to download it as a CSV. I'm just going to put here just a few, just for the sake of the example. So let's go save and search, and I see we got 58 verified contacts from these companies. And when we go back, Savas Labs, we get the same amount of contacts, and we can look for sales manager, lead developer. Obviously we're not going to target that, but you can target decision makers in the company, where here it is now going to give us domains to enrich it because it's protected. But if you leverage DeepSeek and the prompts I'm showing you here today, you can actually get the domains enriched. Or if you want to be a little bit lazy about it, there's always a email address. But again, like what I'm showing you is if you take the website URL and you come here to Apollo and enrich it, and you put a few job title filters like we usually do using lead scraping. I'm not going to go too in depth on how you can actually like filter all this. This is just the sake of the demonstration for enriching the leads. You're going to get much better results. But this is an awesome thing. Like a lot of companies, like a lot of these good goldmine databases are protected from scrapers. So this is actually the way to get around this, is what we've been using recently, and it's just working wonderfully, right? So this was method 2, is basically this is how you can get around the restrictions for databases and directories. So again, like by the time you get through like 1 to 2 lead manually, like coming here, and you would be redirected to this page, you would come here and you can manually enrich it. But you know, that's going to take a whole lot of time. If you want to be efficient, like I showed you, just come to Easy Scraper, start scraping, click next, navigate to next page, and it is going to go through all 1600 of these pages. So you're never going to run out of leads. And this is something, well, you could do infinitely. And once you have this, you might be asking like, how can I enrich it? Like, sure, you got like a whole ton of data. This is only like 3 companies just for the sake of example, but you can use something like LeadDeck. So LeadDeck charges $4 per 1,000 leads from Apollo. You can click here, get started, and all you need to do is just put here the Apollo link, your email, your file name that you want, like test, and how many leads you want, right? And then obviously like tick you're not a robot, and all you need to do is just submit the ticket, and you'll be sent a Stripe link where you can, well, if you're part of Scaling Room, you get 75% off. So that means you get leads for $1 per 1,000 contacts. So you can enrich them for basically no cost whatsoever. You can get 10,000 verified contacts for $10, which is 10 times cheaper than Apollo. So that's just a little tip for you. Now we're gonna move on to method number 3. All right, so method number 3 is what I like to call like the competitor analysis, right? So what you should do And I think a lot of people are not leveraging this. Is like, you want to look at the competitors that are successful. They have been in the game for at least a couple of years. They see constant growth. They have a good clientele. They have good case studies. You want to find these companies. But again, just for the sake of example, let's just go back to the example we had. So top web design companies, we have one called Savas Labs. So I already took their website domain. So what I need to do is just, again, like copy and paste the prompt. Let's just go back to DeepSeek. Make sure you enable the R1 deep think functionality, and you want to just change the rivals company. You can put here the domain, you could put here the name. I'm just going to put here the name just for the sake of the example. So examine public information about Savas Labs customer base to identify, and this is just going to give you like a whole bunch of data that you can leverage. So I'm just going to hit click run. And this is going to take, again, a while. Like the deep think functionality is not super fast, but what it does, it actually like it runs through the internet and it's going to do research for you. So in the meanwhile, I'm just going to explain like what this does and some follow-up prompts that we're going to put here after we have this. So this is going to analyze the industry concentration percentages, employee count ranges, typical revenue milestones, operational commonalities, recent partnership announcements, published success stories, and is going to identify trigger events for service adoptions, frequently cited challenges, organization maturity at engagement, common purchaser job roles, right? It's going to provide insights into bullet points, formatted. Okay, cool. So once it analyzes all this is just, again, basically going to do research for you. You want to hit it with the next prompt. So right here, it is called prospect matching system. We just gave it a name for it. So all you need to do is just using competitor. So we need to look who we took a look at. Let's just go back up top. So it was called Savas Labs. So what you need to do is just, again, click deep think and click the next prompt. It is going to take, again, a little while, but this will give you what it does. It is going to use customer patterns, locate organizations that operate in equivalent sectors, demonstrate comparable scaling, maintain similar staffing levels, exhibit matching operational needs, show no vendor partnerships, and it is going to rank them like this for you. So confidence from 1 to 10 and prioritize scores above 7, right? And then once it does that, it's going to give us a list of companies. And once it does that, we're going to put finally a lead prioritization matrix. So we're going to put this final prompt once this goes through, and it is going to rank these companies on a score of 1 to 10. So target profile alignment is going to be ranked on 3 points, expansion phase capability on 3 points, documented operational gaps 2 points, leadership accessibility 2 points, right? So all together it should be 10 points, and it's going to give us the ones that are 8 or above, and that's pretty much it. So you just need to let it run, and once it finishes, it is going to give you the data, and we're going to run this one more time with this prompt here finally. So as you can see, it's already starting to generate these for us, but you should be able to imagine. So it is giving us a whole bunch of companies that are high confidence, moderate confidence, so score 8, etc, etc. I'm going to pause this here because it already finished, and I'm going to paste this point here, this very final one. This is going to be very I only recommend doing this when you're doing hyper personalized outreach. The previous two you could do mass automated outreach, but this one is like super duper hyper targeted, and this you'll see a better conversions if you're just doing it like manually and hyper targeted, because it's going to give you so much more information and you're not just going to be randomly messaging people. So let these prompts run, and again, just reserve this method 3 strategy for the manual type of outreach. And in the meanwhile, you can always do method 2 and method 1. So running the automated as well as the hyper targeted, the personalized one. So I think that's the best of both worlds. Once this prompt runs, it's going to give you the list of companies that are scored 8 or above. But if you want to, you can just always take it from here, from the previous ones. As you can see, it's just giving us a few example companies. I would say here's 5 companies. So that's quite cool. These companies are very much so ICP if you're obviously like a part of Savas Labs competitors. So I would say like the best method is method number 2, because you can do hyper personalized as well as automated with that method if you combine just a few strategies with each. The third one is very personalized. First one is a little broad. I only recommend doing this if you can do this for like local type service niches, because this realistically doesn't work well in like the B2B setting. It does so more for home improvement type niches, because most people who run those businesses tend to put their contact information on the website, and this is how you're going to be able to find them. All right, so this was really all the strategies that I've outlined here for you today. If you learned anything here today at all, a like would be appreciated. And if you need help implementing any of these prompts and just securing a good qualified lead list, you can book a call with me down below. Or if you just need the prompts themselves, it's going to be down in the description in the first link, so you can just access it. You don't need to save it from my screen. And with that in mind, I'll just see you in the next one. This was Sabo.